Oh boy, okay. Warning, spoilers ahead. Warning. Yeah, warning. These will be spoilers for Batman '89, the second issue of Batman '89, and I must say I have an issue with issue 2 of Batman '89. Oh man, okay. I should have expected this considering it's 2021. As, your average everyday comic superhero geek, of course, I believe the legacy comic honoring an iconic interpretation would stick to its roots, but of course this happens. And in all honesty, it just contradicts almost everything. I mean, the honest truth about Gotham was that it was a general crime-infested city. Corruption and all. So when they turned 1989 Gotham City to 1989 to 1992 Gotham City, especially the Tim Burton Gotham City from 1989 to 1992 into America 2020 to 2021, I mean, that's when this issue falls off the rails. And, I mean, of course, with the SJWs and how woke things are, I get it. I should have expected this. What honestly disappoints me, though, is the fact that I believe his name is Sam Harris, one of the writers for Batman '89 and Batman Returns. I believe the script writer, the screenwriter. I could be wrong. I have to go look it up. He's a part of this, and the idea is to continue Tim Burton's, Michael Keaton's Batman, since unfortunately, due to Warner Brothers, we couldn't see that iconic continuation. They just didn't like Tim Burton's flavor. And they didn't like Michael Keaton's flavor either, because, he was like, well, if Tim's leaving, then why do I have to stick around? See ya, chumps. No, but, okay. So, the thing about Gotham is, the honest to God truth about Gotham City is that Gotham City is broken. No one's safe in Gotham City. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you're black or white or black or any race. No one is safe in Gotham City. Especially Tim Burton's Gotham City. So this idea that there is, what was it called? Burnside? I believe that was a suburb area of Gotham City and in some other versions of Batman, but Burnside. This idea that there's this poor neighborhood in Gotham City, of course a black neighborhood, because, poor black neighborhood, obviously, the politics. There's a poor black neighborhood in Gotham City that's worse off than everywhere else. That's worse off than everywhere else. And that things are worse there than everywhere else. And it gets into the whole class and race thing. And, it's pretty ridiculous because Gotham City itself is especially Tim Burton's Gotham City, is a broken down, dark castle, sewage infested. It's a whole mess. It's a mess. It's just filth everywhere. I mean, one of the opening to Batman '89 is that you have this family walking down Gotham City. They're like tourists. They're seeing Gotham City this is their experience. And the first thing, and white family, obviously. And they get mugged. Like, these tourists just get mugged because they're walking down the streets of poverty and crime. And they get mugged. And before that, they had a hard time getting a taxi and people were being assholes around them. And it's funny because This comic is just saying that no. Yeah, Gotham City's bad for everyone, but there are parts of it that are worse off for a specific, kind of class and race. And in Tim Burton's movies, we see rich people and poor people suffer chaos, death, destruction, pain, all that shit. We see them go through all of that nonsense. And you're really going to tell me that there are parts of Gotham City that are worse off for some people than others? You're really going to tell me that? It literally looks like a burnt down version of Hell on Earth. Even during the daytime, it looks horrific. You're seriously going to tell me that there are some parts of Gotham City that are worse off than others? When the idea of Gotham City was that no one was safe, everyone was going through shit. Everyone was suffering. Because Gotham City is a messed up place for everyone. The idea that they're going to make this today, they're going to try to make this like today's society. They're going to try to say Gotham City is like America, where some people have special privileges, where some people have it better off than others, when a billionaire can get shot down in an alley. Rich people can get killed in front of the press. I mean, rich people, their precious buildings and institutions can be broken in by super criminals or just regular criminals, and they can be harmed or mugged. On top of that, you see people suffering. You see people being attacked, women being mugged and men being shot. Like, this is a regular occurrence in Gotham City, especially Tim Burton's Gotham City. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Like, this, really? On top of that, you have the Gotham PD, Gotham's police department. Now, Gotham's police department has been known for being incompetent. They've also been known for being corrupt. But are we seriously going to make Gotham PD in America, PD in the world right now? Are we really doing that? Because as bad as Gotham's police force was, one of the plus sides of Gotham's police force was that, at least in the iconic Batman stories, or the more well-known Batman stories, or even the majority of Batman stories, their police force didn't show racism. Their police force didn't just shoot citizens. They didn't just shoot citizens. In the beginning of this comic, when Batman throws when he throws that light grenade or that smoke grenade, and they just shoot repeatedly after Batman does this, it's pretty alarming considering in Batman’89, Batman did this and he just got away and they didn't shoot at him. So I guess this time they were like, okay, if we're gonna catch the Bat this time, let's make sure that if he pulls this shit on us again, let's all shoot in the middle of the smoke where we can't freaking see. That's an amazing idea, guys. Gotham PD was never that freaking incompetent. I don't remember them being that incompetent. They were incompetent, on a we can't catch the bad guys situation. On top of that, there's corruption, so of course the job is never going to get done. But this, really? You really made them bumbling idiots? And on top of that, you basically put them in the situation of our society's police force, where, of course, black kids are being shot. They're being shot in some very unfortunate ways. And of course there are protests. So, of course, now not just did we make Gotham PD incompetent, because they were already pretty incompetent, but not just did we make them more incompetent than we expected them to be, but now we also made them clones of the police force in our world. You have Harvey Bullock, getting mad at Harvey Dent for essentially, going on the average, politics against the police force that we obviously see today. And that since he and, the police force sided with him in taking down the Batman, now he's going to go against him politically because of how he felt about the police force. Because, Harvey wants to get the trust of his community back. And I mean, we're really doing Harvey Bullock like that? I mean, Harvey Bullock's a scumbag. He's a scumbag, obviously. He's a scumbag. He has his issues. But, really? We're seriously doing this? We're really doing this? We're seriously going to make Harvey Dent the obvious, I don't know what, bigoted bad guy because he's white, right? I mean, if Harvey Bullock was a traditional black character, I'm damn sure they would not do this to him. So obviously it's like, okay, how dare you? Siding with these people, going against the police force with your obvious community politics. How dare you do this? You're going to pay for this, Harvey. You're going to pay. It's like, shut the hell up. Shut up. It's hilarious how bad this is. I mean, Harvey has his issues, but Harvey is he's still a decent cop. He has some corrupt tendencies, and he's a bit of a sleazebag, but he's still a decent cop. He still does his job. He still gets criminals in prison. He even works alongside Batman a couple times, and he hates Batman. But we're gonna make Harvey Bullock, the obvious evil bad policeman of 2021 who, is against the community and, against anything that shows a negative light on a police force. It's like, what the hell is going on here? What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Look, man. Okay, I'm going to get serious now. The issue with comparing Gotham City to our society, our world, and all its controversial issues or whatever side you believe or that stuff is the hypocrisy in it. Especially with this version of Gotham, because this is a continuation of Tim Burton's Batman. So let's set some things up. Let's set some things straight. This Batman kills criminals. Michael Keaton's Batman and Tim Burton's Batman universe, he kills criminals and he has machine guns on his Batmobile. Are you telling me that this Bruce Wayne has issues with gun violence? I don't want to hear a damn thing about gun violence from Tim Burton's Bruce Wayne, because this Batman kills criminals and he uses machine guns. But the obvious politics. Oh, Bruce Wayne, he doesn't he's traumatized by guns, and we want the right politics in there. So we're gonna make him anti-gun. We're gonna put him against gun violence. And you know what? I'll be honest. All the nonsense politics aside, gun violence, I can understand, because Bruce Wayne, he's traumatized by guns. Traditionally, the character is traumatized by guns. So him being against gun violence, I could see it, personally. But we're not talking about a traditional Bruce Wayne. This Bruce Wayne is iconic. He is. And there are elements of him that are true to the core of the character. But this Bruce Wayne is not the traditional Bruce Wayne. This Batman is not anti-gun. This Batman has machine guns in his Batmobile, and he kills criminals. This Batman is not that kind of Batman. So, no. Don't do that. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, but no. If this Bruce Wayne has machine guns in his Batmobile, and he uses them repeatedly to get by and blow up criminals and shoot down, areas of the city when fighting crime, then I don't want to hear a damn thing about Tim Burton's Batman being against gun violence. See where the hypocrisy's starting? Gotham City, one thing that was amazing about it, like I said before, is that the idea was that Gotham City was a city where anyone could get hurt, anyone could get harmed. Didn't matter what race you were. It didn't matter what your societal class was. It didn't matter that you were rich or poor. You could always be in danger. It didn't make a freaking difference. And the idea was that everyone could come together and fix their city because everyone, and I mean everyone, knew that a symbol like Batman represented fixing their city, helping, fighting alongside them to take down criminals, fighting crime, and they would fight crime along with him. That's why I love that scene in The Dark Knight Returns when Batman motivates all of Gotham City to clean up their city and fight against criminals that are tearing down their city instead of listening to, the idiotic police and listening to and fearing the criminals to rise up and defend their city. Because in that moment, I saw that Batman, he is a symbol of justice for the people. He is for the people. He's not specifically for the poor people. He's not specifically for the rich people. He's not specifically for the white people. He's not specifically for the black people he's not specifically for any specific group. He's specifically for the people. Batman stands for the people in general. He stands for his city. And he will fight for his city. And Gotham's police force, as messed up as it was, they did not discriminate. They were assholes to pretty much anyone. Rich people were treated like shit. Poor people were treated like shit. There was a scene where, There was a scene essentially, I believe, in Batman Year One, where that asshole policeman Nash, I forgot his name, Nash or Flash or whatever. There was a group of kids playing in the city. It's like a couple white and black kids, I believe. And he picked up this one kid out of all the other kids, and that kid just happened to be white, and he was just abusing him and attacking him for the simple fact of he likes abusing the children of Gotham. He likes picking on the kids of Gotham. And, they could have just... it's like, obviously Batman Year One is an early comic, so it's not going to be affected by today's current climate. But there could have easily been an interpretation where they just made all the kids black and just had this policeman pick on them and try to show some anti-policeman message. But the ideal of Gotham is the city is broken. There are no exceptions. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are. If you live in Gotham City, shit can happen to you, and you cannot expect it. It can happen. You can get mugged. Your building could explode. Criminals could just attack you for stupid reasons or just for reasons you don't expect. It didn't matter how rich you were. It didn't matter how poor you were. The city was in trouble. And the police didn't discriminate against you because the police were corrupt and they were either corrupt or they were either incompetent. And when they were, everyone got hurt. So this idea that there's this specific neighborhood of Gotham, predominantly black, obviously, and poor, that has it worse than everywhere else, not just is it stupid, but it also contradicts Gotham City. Because you're telling me that there are parts of Gotham that are better off for certain people than others. And that doesn't just contradict most versions of Gotham City, most iconic versions, especially the Tim Burton version. But it contradicts the idea of Gotham City. It tells you that Gotham City is better for some people more than others, and it's not. Because in most versions of Gotham City, people can get attacked. There was there was a panel where Harvey was talking to the leaders of Burnside community in this issue, where the guy attacked Harvey because Harvey just wanted to help, the community. And Harvey was like, well, I just want to do what I can. And they were on him. The one guy was on him saying, well, don't try to play us, because the Waynes and the Shreks, referring to, the Wayne family and the Shrek family from Batman Returns. The Waynes and the Shreks, those people don't get hurt in these situations. We do. Don't try to mess with us. And he tried to, the narrative tried to portray this: wealthy people have it better off in these situations than poor people. And it's funny because if we go back to Batman Returns, the Shreks were utterly fucked by the Penguin, who he fucked up the city, but he specifically went after them. He killed the father. I don't know if the son got away, but the son was traumatized. He killed the father, essentially. He fucked up that family in general. He manipulated the father, and then he fucked up that family by killing the father. He terrorized the whole city, bringing chaos everywhere with his, exploding penguins. And it's like, the Wayne family, Bruce Wayne's parents were shot in an alleyway. They were killed in an alleyway. And of course, I'm sure there will be people that are like, well, of course. I mean, if it doesn't matter if you're rich, if you walk down an alleyway in a poverty area of Gotham, of course, there's a chance you could be shot. But I'm just saying, no. The idea of Gotham City is that crime and corruption is everywhere. Even the fancier looking sides of Gotham City are still filled with chaos and destruction. It doesn't matter where you are. You have that scene of Joker. He throws the poisonous pen, the feather pen. He says the pen is mightier than the sword. And he throws it at like a political figure and kills him on the spot in front of the press. Like, he just casually strolls down the street. He does this. I believe they had security there. Gotham City is not safe for anyone, especially in Tim Burton's version of Gotham City. It's not safe. So, it's like, yeah, they changed Gotham City in Tim Burton's Batman to reflect our society with all its controversy and political issues. And it's wrong because that's not Gotham. That's not Gotham City. And it's definitely not Tim Burton's Gotham City. There's no side of Gotham that's worse off than the other, especially in Tim Burton's version, because in Tim Burton's version, people are getting shit on left and right. The wealthy elites aren't safe. The average people aren't safe. No one's safe in Tim Burton's Gotham City. So why on earth are we doing this to this version of Gotham City? Why are we, breaking the lore of Tim Burton's Gotham City to make a narrative that's based on our world? Look, the issue with this is simple. Tim Burton's Batman universe is its own universe. That doesn't mean that you can't fit social elements into like a story, but the issue is Gotham City, especially Tim Burton's version of Gotham City, embodies crime, and it embodies the unity of the people, the united suffering of the people. Everyone suffers in Gotham City, and when everyone stands up to fight for their city is when things actually get better. And Batman inspires the people to do so. We see this in the Dark Knight movies, especially in The Dark Knight Rises, when everyone comes together and fights for their city back from Bane and his evil revolution. Or when the people prove to Joker in The Dark Knight that they're good people, the criminals and the everyday people alike. I'm sorry, but Gotham City may have been based off New York during its inception, but Gotham City is not it's not America 2020 to 2021. Gotham City is Gotham City. And DC is DC. And my main issue with this is that if you really wanted to push, if you really wanted to try to focus on real world issues, there are better ways to do it in stories. I mean, SJWs and wokesters don't really get it, but there are better ways to do it. But this is not the way. Especially in a version of Batman that doesn't reflect this. Batman stories, at least the iconic ones, and the majority of them, are not really based so much in racism and societal issues. It's based in general societal issues. So when we think of poverty in Gotham City, we just think of a city that looks like shit's everywhere. And people are suffering everywhere, especially when you go out of your giant house like Bruce Wayne, or if you just come out of your apartment. We think of a city where crime could happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how much you try to protect yourself. You could get hurt. There's no safe side of Gotham. Now, there are some suburb areas, but even those areas could get attacked. The idea is that Gotham City is harmful for everyone, and that if everyone comes together, they can make Gotham City better, especially under Batman, because Batman inspires them to do better, to fight, to stand for justice. And the issue with, trying to create some kind of racial divide is that it contradicts that. Because if you're telling me that this is a world where there's issues with the police and specific races of people in Gotham City, you're telling me that Gotham City is like our world. And if Gotham City is like our world, then that means that Gotham City is not just the embodiment of crime. That means that there are places in Gotham City that are safer for others. That means there are areas in Gotham where people can't get hurt. That means that there are people in Gotham that will be safe and nothing can happen to them, no matter what. Because you're basically saying that people are affected based on, who they are. And that may be true in certain topics, but Batman and Gotham is not one of them. It's not. And I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. Anyway, I'm going to make a few more videos on this issue because I do want to reflect on some things I did like. This version of Robin was very interesting. And he's a little funny too. And I will say there are some comedic aspects of this. Like how like how Billy D. Williams' version of Harvey Dent at the end of Batman '89 was like, he was the one that supported Batman. He's the one that stood by Batman. He's the one that that announced the bat signal for Gotham City. He's the one that told the people of Gotham to trust Batman. And now in these comics, especially in issue 1, he's like, this is all Gordon's fault. Because of him, this Batman is in the city fighting crime and causing problems by fighting crime, which leads to more crime. And it's like, bitch, you supported Batman. You told the people to trust him. You made Batman look good to the public. You made the people support Batman. You made the police force trust Batman. You did this. You started this. Commissioner Gordon did not start this. The Gotham PD police were hunting Batman down until the end of Batman '89 when you said that Batman can be trusted by the people. And I don't know if that's a character contradiction, but I mean, I get it. Harvey, he was on a date with Barbara Gordon. I know, weird, because, Barbara's young and Barbara's really young in most universes, and now she's dating Harvey, but whatever. Yeah, Harvey's dating Barbara, and crime comes in, and now he's in the middle of this situation, and now Batman is just fighting crime around him, and he was having a good time with his girlfriend. He was at a restaurant. He was gonna propose, I believe. And, just crime comes out of nowhere, and Batman just causes explosions when killing criminals. And it's like, it catches him off guard, and he doesn't feel safe. So now he doesn't trust Batman anymore. All right, I like that. That works, especially for his transformation into Two-Face. But my main issue is, don't blame Commissioner Gordon for this. You started this. Don't say he indulged Batman, because he was hunting Batman down. Batman was wanted by the police in this universe, in the Tim Burton universe. And now you're the one, and you came in and you supported him, and now you're the one saying that it's Gordon's fault. I'm sorry, but no. Also, it's weird how Batman has gray hair on the sides of his head. I'm wondering, it's been a year or so after Returns. I mean, I know he's older, but I guess Michael Keaton's Batman is like somewhere in his like mid-40s, I guess, around now. He does look older in Batman Returns. And Batman '89, he looks like he's somewhere in his I guess mid-30s, but in Batman Returns, he looks like he's somewhere in his early 40s. So I guess it makes sense, especially if this is a year or more after Batman Returns. But it's just so weird seeing him with gray hair. And as old as Alfred is in these movies, it's funny just imagining that this very old, wrinkled shrimp man is just living for this long. It's like, I don't want Alfred to die, but, sometimes it's like Yoda. You just see him. He's really old. But yeah, I'm going to make some more videos covering, issue 2 of Batman. And it's sad that, SJW woke elements got into this, because it just ruins comics, but whatever. But I just want to explain why, to me, Gotham City and Batman does not reflect America 2020 to 2021, especially Tim Burton's Batman and Gotham City, because this is not, it's not this world. It's very different, and it's very, very disappointing that elements of Gotham and Batman were changed to suit this narrative. It'd be really sad if mainstream comics are doing this too, but they've gone down the woke stream, so why not? Sure, whatever. Anyway, you guys have a nice day. Yeah, please give your opinions in the comments. Just talk about how you feel. If you think I'm an idiot for saying all of this, then, by all means, please. And if you agree with me, please talk to me about it in the comments. Have a nice day.